Hello again. Hey, Fire Agate Mark here. We were doing a stone from start to finish, and since I started on a different stone, I started on this stone, and I was using diamond cutoff wheels, and I was using pressure flake method, as well as some rough grinding with a more coarse bit. This one I did on a set of wheels, Cab King, and it was maybe 10 minutes, all from start to finish, beginning to end, and it's a much cleaner job. The problem with doing this on a large set of wheels is you can absolutely push past the color, blow into the layer, and if you're not careful, and then realize that this probably comes back up and then dips back down, because fire agate doesn't exist just on a flat plane. It's not like a solid gemstone. It occurs in layers on top of these agate layers. So between each clear agate layer, that's where you have the color stacked. So this can be a dangerous way to go, but it's a time saver if you're slow, careful, and don't use too much pressure, and just keep checking frequently. So this one is also proven. It's got a lot better color going on. It's got some greens and some other colors. This one, well, this one was showing some crackle fire, and it may have some better color down in the middle, so it's definitely worth a look because it's from a high grade batch. I like to work smaller stones. If I'm working a larger stone, here's one of the larger ones. I kind of cleaned up on the wheel a little bit. It's a Vug, or kind of like a geode. So it's got all these quartz crystals in here, which is really nice. And it almost looks like a carnelian, but it's not. It's just that agate layer. And it's also got, let's see if we can zoom in here. Get some better color. It's got some brilliant colors in there. So it's got the potential for being pretty amazing once it's finished. I think there's even some blue and purple down in there, as well as teal, orange, green, yellow. One of the nice things is I came on the machine just to kind of clean up the edge. So it looks like in some areas it's just going to be a clear chalcedony, but it's still pretty. It's got these plumes in it that give it some really nice character. And then in some instances, in some areas, I'll be able to find just enough agate where I might be able to uncover some color and some fire. But it looks like on the other side, it does continue through, so I'll be able to clean it up in between. The whole project will take quite a while. I don't want to rush it because I don't want to blow into the colors. It's got some really pretty colors already, so I wouldn't want to go too deep too quickly and just risk messing up the stone, because high grade Slaughter Mountain, which is what this is, Slaughter Mountain fire agate, can be extremely pricey. Generally, Slaughter Mountain and Deer Creek, they're about 4 times more expensive than the Mexican material with the same color. And the difference is nuanced when they're cut. So, let's see. When you're carving them, the differences are really nuanced. It's not really that much different. All right, so in candling this, I realized that I do have to go a little bit deeper here. I'm going to have to dip down and then come back around. There's some other areas where I'm going to have to go a little bit deeper. Same with this. I'm going to have to go in deeper. So what, pardon me. So what I want to do is choose the bit that I want to use. Give me a second. Now, this is something that is pretty remarkable. Thank you so much, Cutting Edge Supply Company. Thank you, Nick Alexander, for turning me on to having this kind of these kind of choices before me. If you haven't seen the Sintered Wallet, then it is a library of sintered bits from black, which are super coarse. Here's a really nice inverted cone that I like. These are great, and each one is a little bit different than the last in shape. And this one's a little bit more acute in angle. This one's straight up and down. Brilliant. If you want to treat yourself to something amazing, or if you've got a Christmas or birthday, or you just want to treat yourself to a special occasion, this is definitely the way to go. So then we go from black, which is still in the super coarse. I mean, flame bits. Yeah, let's back up a little bit. Flame bits, balls, the cones. Let's see. Oh, cylinders. Sorry, that's a cylinder. These are the cones. More cones. More of these flame tips. The flame tips are great when you're getting up in there. These things allow you to work from the back and the mid and then kind of dig in a little bit. You want to make sure when you're using these things that you use them beginning to end. And these things will go all the way through. They are fully sintered. So this thing's going to last you with good care. If you take care of it, don't use too much pressure, lots of water, this thing will last you a long time. And then it goes into blue. Blue is medium. So it's the same range of bits and shapes and sizes and just wonderful things and everything you could imagine. And then now it goes to medium, and from medium it goes to red, which is like a predecessor to fine or fine itself. I like these rounded cones or rounded cylinders. This allows you to get a flat area nice and evenly. These are great. Wonderful. Again, thank you, Cutting Edge Supply. More of the flame tips, the whole thing. And then it goes into your yellow, which is your fine and extra fine. So you're probably talking more like 600 grit. And these things are just amazing. If you want a nice, beautiful finish, which makes it a lot easier to finish in the long run and just gives you more exceptional product, this is the way to go. All right, I do want to give you one other option. If that's, and I understand that might not be up everybody's alley or something that you necessarily can afford now. If you're just in this to check it out and see whether you like it or not, this set right here is also available through Cutting Edge Supply. Don't forget to use promo code MARK when you're checking out. And then you're going to find the same thing. So this is diamond electroplated, but the nice thing is this has a fairly decent coating of diamond electroplate. They're all super coarse, which is one of the drawbacks. So as you wear them, it'll go from a super coarse to a coarse and wear to medium. It just kind of happens as you go along. And you still get some good bits. So that's something to consider while you're doing this, because I know that that's not for everybody. And just to show that it can be done, I wouldn't use these when you're right on top of the agate. When you're right on top of the agate, if you don't have a sintered bit, I would definitely switch to sandpaper or some sort of rubberized abrasive, because the difference in these is a sintered bit. And here's another, I think red, which is just a step down from coarse, or it's coarse in and of itself. And here, let's get something similar. All right. Say they're roughly the same. The metal backing is the difference. Right here you have a hard metal back, so it's not very forgiving. Whereas here it's a softer metal, and then the diamond is embedded within the softer metal. So it wears evenly as you carve, so it wears down to the very base. This, if you apply too much pressure, it wasn't poured properly, or something else you gotta skip, you'll get these little nicks and scratches in these every once in a while, and it makes the tool inefficient. So these are more expensive, but they last a lot longer. These are a lot cheaper, so if you're just trying to figure it out, not a bad way to go. I also got, through Cutting Edge Supply, these little puppies here. I like these. This is 400 and 150 grit. These little tiny things, these UFO bits, they allow you to get into these tight little corners like I have to for the particular pieces I'm working on. So this is what I'm going to switch over to. I just want to say really quick while I'm doing this, if there's a possibility of having a stream of water, you should do this. What I've done is I've taken a 1.25 gallon pressure sprayer from Harbor Freight. I think the whole thing was $11 or $12. So I have just over a gallon of water to go through, and I can do this while I carve. That way it's reducing the rock dust, but even if you do have a steady stream of water, it's still kicking up rock dust. So please wear a mask and while you carve, an N95 or better, and eye protection. So usually I'm just wearing the visor, and the visor does protect my eyes minimally, but I use that so I can also see what I'm doing. You could have safety glasses as well as a visor. Might be a lot safer as you go. Hearing protection, if you're thinking about it, not a bad idea. Anyway, I'm going to try to turn down the volume while I'm grinding, so I won't be narrating. Let's see, I may fast forward. Well, now that we're all caught up, let's do a little carving. Give it a punch. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up. Right here is the one that just didn't prove. I tried to prove it, do a little test corner, even went a little more aggressively and deeper, and it's still, the color never popped, so I'm not going to waste my time on it. That might be something that gets tumbled just for fun. This one, on the other hand, nice piece of Slaughter Mountain. It's definitely showing some bright bubbles, excellent potential, bright colors, some really pretty green. This is the one we'll continue with, but I'm going to wrap it up for today. If you haven't yet, please, I appreciate everyone who's liked and subscribed. Thank you so much. And if you haven't, please do. Thank you very much, Nick, at Cutting Edge Supply. Thank you so much for the people at Diashine. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you all, and we'll see you soon.